представители стран НАТО, особенно в Европе, особенно в малых странах, они должны вообще отдавать себе отчет.
Europe is worried about its security. The skies over Eastern Europe are exposed. They have virtually no air defense. And this is a security assessment by NATO. Here's what their latest report says. Its focus is on NATO's capabilities to protect its eastern flank. Now, these are countries in Central and Eastern Europe. That is NATO's eastern flank. The report says NATO has less than 5% of the capability that it needs. Less than 5%. What are we talking about here? What kind of capability? Defense systems, rockets, troops. Whatever Europe needs to protect itself from an airstrike, they don't have it. The region is woefully under-equipped. In fact, let me quote from what a NATO diplomat said. Air defense is one of the biggest holes we have. We cannot deny it. Since the war in Ukraine broke out, NATO has not been able to do very much about it. It hasn't been able to boost its security in Eastern Europe. Just one American Patriot system has been deployed, and this is in southern Poland. It protects an airport. It's an important hub for the West. This airport in southern Poland is used to send Western military aid to Ukraine. And the bloc is also under pressure from Kiev, from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. He's been asking for more air defense systems.
GS has already used more than 9,000 guided aerial bombs against Ukraine. And we need the ability to shoot down their combat aircraft so that they do not approach our positions and borders. It is possible. It is just as possible as giving protection to the cities of Ukraine from Russian rockets. We urgently need Patriot systems and missiles for them. This is what can and should save lives right now.
Clearly, Europe needs more air defense systems. So what are they doing about it? Talking for now. Hectic deliberations are on, plans are being discussed. This week, NATO leaders are meeting in Prague. Later in July, there are plans for a summit in Washington, D.C. Both discussions will center around Europe's air defenses and how to improve them. NATO and Europe need to step up because the Russian president is pressing on their vulnerability.
The representatives of countries that are NATO members, particularly in Europe, particularly in small countries, should be aware of what they are playing with. They should remember that these are primarily countries with small territory and dense population.
Putin said that 2 days ago. He was referring to the statements from Macron and Scholz, the leaders of France and Germany. They said Ukraine should strike deep inside Russia, France and Germany. In response, Putin highlighted Europe's greatest weakness right now, the eastern flank of NATO. And he was referring to the same region that we just spoke about. Apparently, some of his advisors want him to go a step further. They want the Russian military to, quote-unquote, demonstrate its nuclear power in Ukraine. Does that mean a nuclear attack? Well, Putin's advisors did not spell it out, but they do want him to consider, and I'm quoting again, a demonstrative strike, something that can send a message to the West. So Brussels has been cautioned. Europe is in Russia's sights. If Moscow decides to strike, how will Europe protect itself? This is where Europe's internal rifts begin to surface. The bloc cannot agree on a single strategy. So far, their approach has been fragmented. Germany is pushing for the Sky Shield initiative. It was launched last year. The plan is to develop a shared air defense system using American and Israeli technology. More than a dozen countries have signed up for the Sky Shield. But France has taken a different path. They, along with Italy, have developed a system called Mamba. Then we have Ursula von der Leyen, who is going in a third direction. She is the European Commission's president. She wants an EU-funded air defense shield, and Poland and Greece support her. So there are three different plans, three different approaches being proposed to achieve the same goal, securing Europe's skies. But none will deliver unless Europe can tide over its divisions. And it's not like they've not tried, but the outcome has not been favorable. The longer they remain at odds, the more they strengthen Putin's hand and expose themselves to potential threats.
South Africa's May 29th elections.
It was the start of change in the country.
We are on the verge of history.
I am standing here at the forefront of change where voices echo the call for action.
The nation grapples with an unemployment crisis. As South Africans prepare to cast their votes, the question looms, will the winds of change usher in a new era, or will the legacy of the past maintain its grip on the future?